Super fly for the Dumbos. Plenty slides like a shuffle. Hit the cadence on my young. Isaac Hayes, Billy Ocean. About the old with the cane stick. Let my slippers at the function. It's hard to run the Gucci slides. That bet you say you didn't never. I'm a step, no. Jackie Chan, no travel. Can't clean it with the beat. Dripping from the. No, not me.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Chicago Bears and the Minnesota Vikings. Cody Parkey now ready to get this one started. And we are underway from downtown Minneapolis. That's fielded in the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And he's going to be stopped here on this first play as he gets it to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky. And his throw here is incomplete. Allen Robinson, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And he's taken down inside the 30. Trubisky to Gabriel there for a Bears first down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the goal line.
And this is Gabriel on the catch. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. Looking to throw again, Trubisky. Wide open receiver complete. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. His first catch, good for 16 and a first. On 1st down, Trubisky. He's going to dump that off to his running back, Cohen. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 7 yards on the play, and it'll be a 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal. Trying to punch it in with Howard. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. Jordan Howard, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Bears have taken the early lead. Parkey adds the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders. That
guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. He'll drop to throw, and he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down. On now to kick it away is the punter, Matt Wild. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Fielded at the 20. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50, 1st and 10. The Bears offense now heading back out onto the field. And, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. On 1st down, they run with Howard. Tackle made that time by Anthony Barr.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now Trubisky to throw on 2nd. Gonna let one fly for into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Mike Hilton. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
They go play action here on 1st down. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Albert Wilson, the intended receiver there. That'll bring up 2nd down.
There are a good number of coaches at any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw. And it's caught over the middle. Wilson. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Detroit! Detroit!
First down, here's the run with Cook. Space to maneuver at the 40. As they finally wrangle him in at the 48. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
That's a lot of beef thundering downfield off of the toss play, and it takes me back to when I was a kid and watching USC play. Remember the old toss that they ran? They used to call it student body right or student body left because everyone was out in front of the ball carrier. In fact, one of their favorite plays, it was called rose stem right or rose stem left, depending on the formation, 28 toss. And 28 toss was their bread and butter.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Leonard Floyd in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
Detroit! Detroit!
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 41. A give. This is Cook. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. Back to throw. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And a short gain down to about the 33. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard. Daniel Carlson now for the Viking field goal. From the right hash and call it an even 50 yards. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked.
Those really long field goals, when they are made, they are things of beauty. But there is a danger to getting them started, isn't there?
Yeah, with that low drive, you've got to really keep it low to the ground, don't you, to get that distance.
Yeah, hard to just pop it up in the air because otherwise it's not going to get there. So he's got to drive it low in order to have the distance, and that usually puts it in jeopardy, gives him a chance to block it, and everyone knows it on the other side. That's when you get your best jumpers on the other side of the field and try and get up and get it.
Eric Kendricks in on the tackle.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
They run play action for Howard. Now Trubisky. And he is going to wind up losing yardage here, as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up. Off the play fake, here's Trubisky. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. Well, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Well, that'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here on first down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
Looking to throw. Right side caught by Jackson. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gone, gone! Gone, gone!
Back to throw now on first down. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 12 yards there as they move the chains. They pitch it out to Cook. And he'll be brought down at about the 42.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On second down, Cook. Not much there, maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The Vikings on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6.
Lucky 56.
He'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. He may try and run for this. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. So the big play nullified, a legal forward pass.
And maybe we know why they were able to get such a good chunk of yardage on that play. That pass was illegal.
Here's Matt Weil now as he'll kick it away for the second time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Now a play fake here on first down. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch, but underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get because usually your momentum's going in the opposite direction when you're trying to stop, break, and come back and get it.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Trubisky. And that one was nearly picked. Not sure he was accounting for the free safety. That brings up third down.
A pretty rocky start in this game for the guy throwing the ball. Already has thrown one interception. Almost threw a second one right there. All he's doing right now is giving the defense a whole lot of confidence.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. From the shotgun is Trubisky. He's going to fire one deep left sideline. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And now out comes Minnesota. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now, what you're looking for.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But a Viking was able to corral this one, and Minnesota will keep possession.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 25. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete.
I would say it'd probably be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers at the half because they're definitely on different wavelengths. But I also don't advocate waiting that long. Next series before you get out there. Hey, let's get together, guys. Let's get this thing moving.
2nd and 10. It's Trubisky again. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And he's able to pick up the 1st down before he's tackled right at the 10. Give him a gain of 4, able to convert, and that sets up 1st and goal now. Now Trubisky. Now and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Daniil Hunter in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year.
Well, that was their 3rd sack of the ball game. 2nd in the league in sacks coming into this one. They're planning on making it a race to the top, aren't they?
Absolutely. They're looking up at that top spot, but they might be looking down at the 2nd spot pretty soon. Now Trubisky to throw. Flushed out right. And he's going to go down again. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Now it's Trubisky. And the pressure gets to him again. Joshua Perry in there again as this offensive line is in tatters. 3 sacks in 3 plays. Two minutes to play here in the 1st half. More from Minneapolis after this. So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. This will be spotted just shy of midfield. A 59-yard attempt. Online, but off the crossbar, no good. A long-range revenge effort, denied 3 points at the very end. All things considered, a pretty good kick, just cruel punishment there to be denied by the crossbar.
If you're going to hit from that distance, sometimes you're going to need a little luck, and unfortunately for him, this time the break goes against him.
They start the drive with Cook. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
They run again on first down. Cook, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Lucky 56.
They'll look to throw here. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down. The Vikings on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Watching that run takes me back to something a famous old coach once said. Any player he wants on his team, he wants him to be agile, mobile, and most definitely hostile.
First red zone chance now for the Vikings. 1st and 10 at the 19. Handoff comes to Cook. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. A toss to Cook. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2. The Vikings in the hurry up. They're hustling up to the line.
Lucky 56.
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. And he's able to find Diggs. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. A chance now to get even before the break as they come up 1st and goal. And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. He had his lone attempt blocked earlier. Carlson able to put this one through. So we reach halftime. You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. And he'll be forced out of bounds shy of the line of scrimmage, so that'll be credited as a sack. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. On second down, Trubisky. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target in the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
third down. Trubisky steps away, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
That would be exactly what they were looking for coming out to start the third quarter. Get a sack, get off the field, get the momentum going in their direction.
Get the ball back to your offense, right? Get that momentum because, hey, this lead is very, very slim. Here we go on fourth down with Trubisky. Trying to get it to Robinson, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Mike Hughes. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days. And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Gone! 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 Gone!
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. He'll buy some time right. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage, but instead he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
They'll begin the drive with Howard. And he'll take this one up to about the 23.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
This is Howard on second down. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards. And it'll bring up a third and 2 more. Throwing here, Trubisky. And that's complete. It's Sims. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. The pickup of 11, and it moves the chains.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Gonna let one fly for Robinson. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Trubisky with a give to Howard. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. On 3rd down, this is Howard. And he's got the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They go play action here on first down. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at second down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Now it's Trubisky. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Middle of the field, it's Robinson. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. A Chicago first down. The former Jag, Allen Robinson, on the catch from Trubisky. Trubisky now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Play action. It's Trubisky. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Bears will extend their lead. Parkey with the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Here's Parkey now set to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And 3 interceptions in this game, and I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Gone!
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Going deep for Diggs. And got his man complete. A gain of 39 that time. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
Again, it's Cook. And he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard, down to the 31.
Detroit!
Well, they have that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. So a good kick that time, and that might help to get the negative thoughts out of the mind from that earlier block.
Especially since this was not a chippy, so he had to get that one out kind of low. But his line does a nice job of protecting, and he's able to convert for 3.
Now the Bears offense ready to take over again. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They go with Howard to begin the drive. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Now Trubisky to throw on 2nd. Escaping the pressure right. And a throw right sideline is complete. 75 yards receiving for him now. It's a 1st down.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Out to his left. Now he's going to let it go deep. Back over. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked up by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. Not the best of plays there as a quarterback. You're right-handed, rolling left, trying to throw it that far downfield.
I remember a coach of mine saying, son, that's the equivalent of trying to get the car keys out of your pocket with your opposite hand while you're trying to run. You just can't do it.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room. If you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage. They run it again with Cook. And an alley to run. And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Being chased out left. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That goes for a gain of 31.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
On the ground, it's Cook. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
They'll set up a throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. The Vikings on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Back to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19. Detroit! Detroit! Gone! 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 Gone!
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Adrian Amos with a pick. 20, 10, and they will score a pick 6 for a Bears touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
That'll be taken in the end zone. Oh, spinning away. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And following the pick 6, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
They told us they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. A gain of 6 there on first. Fourth quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman, and he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. He was trying to find Deshaun Jackson that time. And it'll bring up third down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. But this is caught by Jackson. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. They get 14 yards there and a first down. They're going to look to throw. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Lucky Whitehead is intended target. And that'll bring up second down.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what...
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And I think the Bears have recovered. They have.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over. But that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a two-possession game. It is a two-possession game at this stage in the fourth. They needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
Gotta go, gotta go. Hey, 18.
Following the fumble recovery, it's Trubisky. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've got an answer for it.
And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 23 yards on the play. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Hey, 18. Hey, gotta go. Blue. 18.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Trubisky. And he comes back with one complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
18.
Now Trubisky on first down. Flush to his right. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
The second down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Here's Trubisky to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th.
Gotta go, gotta go.
They'll try and throw for it with Trubisky. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And now this is going to be close. The defense says they stopped him, and they did. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and it's a 2nd down.
Detroit! 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 Detroit!
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And complete right side to Cook. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. But correct me if I'm wrong, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Another 13 yards there twice in a row, and they're on the move. Another 1st down as well. He'll look to throw. He's going to air one out. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending the guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. They're giving those short little routes, tackled him in bounds, too. They're just not wanting to get beat over the top.
Yeah, and if you can't really get
pressure, and he's taken down. A bare sack. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hasn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense. I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. He's picked off near his own 48, and he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Is the scouting
under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
On 2nd down, here's Trubisky. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Anthony Barr in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Let's see what they draw up here. 3rd and long following the sack of Trubisky. Out of the gun, Trubisky. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down. They're going on fourth down. It's Trubisky. And it is incomplete. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10. Try to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down.
So this is what happens when you throw interceptions. That confident veneer that you have gets chipped away a little bit. Maybe a little bit gun-shy throwing it around.
Yeah, underthrowing him there, and you're right. Those interceptions may be in the back of his mind. The Vikings on 3rd down. Not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 10.
Gone! 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 Watch the screen! Watch the screen!
They'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. They're able to locate Wilson. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a 1st down with a nice throw.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. 2nd and 10 now from the 27. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Flushed out right. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down.
Nice job there defensively. A great time to dial up a blitz.
And give him credit under center instead of throwing it away. Actually, a pretty good job of getting past the line of scrimmage, not losing yardage. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. The Vikings in the hurry up. They're hustling up to the line.
They didn't get the 1st down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do.
And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Okay, so they got the score. Do you go for 1 here and save the possible 2-point conversion for later?
I think you do, because if you go for 2 here and you don't get it, that's deflation.
Yeah.
Now you're wondering why you're even going for it. Take the easy one now and come back and try and get it later.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. That game's gone final, by the way, down in New Orleans. And it was the Saints that wound up winners in that one. If they hang on, that would up their win total to 5 on the season so far.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
They go counter with Howard. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. As the clock will stop with 45 seconds left to go in the game. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Again, it's Howard. And he's going to be stopped at about the 37. Another timeout called by the Vikings now, as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. The Bears on 3rd down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. Here it's 3rd and 2. Now it's Trubisky. Finding Gabriel, complete. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Oh, Trubisky going to throw. And this is caught. And that could seal it. It's a touchdown.
And that touchdown should make you feel comfortable. But do you really feel like it's totally over yet?
Not totally, but I think you're pretty much there.
Yeah, you still got to make sure you stay with it, do all the right things down the stretch, especially on defense. But that touchdown there, you've got to feel good about your chances.
Fielded about a yard deep. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. They can't do much at this point, partner. This one is going to go down in the loss column.
You don't make up for what has happened during the game in this sequence here. Maybe you hand it off and let someone run the ball if you so choose. But otherwise, just kneel down all day and try and prepare going forward.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. One final shot. They'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game.
Look, I defeated my fears, soaked the towel in my tears, so ahead of my time, all my oldest ideas. I'm wiser than my chin check y'all in y'all beard. I'm willing to father my peers, all of my peers for all of my years. Out in the field, take a look at my shoes. Never had a thought that it might lose. Considering the cost, I had to give up my dues. Never got a talk to it. I've been feeling like a king for months. We eat all the rich cuisine for lunch. All these wishing he was done. Oh, you tried it, that's a piece of gum. Now, look at me, I'm the captain now. I'm recruiting this year. Praying for y'all while I'm praying for y'all. Like a line abusing this deer. I hate to do it with no plans. Now I usually get near. Oh, I ask her man. Cause I'm the mutant in here. We look good, just show us where the camera. Years ago, I had to up my standards. Make your missus Alabama. Turn it to my only private. Swear like she don't got the answers. Who's the boss? I feel like Tony Danza. Walk up in there like I got the swag. Wakanda swagger, I'm the blackest panther. Wakanda, y'all are wasting your time. I spend it, but I ain't wasting a dime. Might do some favors, but I ain't breaking my spine. Your girl has been calling for days. I get all different ways. That New Orleans parades. Yeah, we like, none of my people are patient. We look like we on a vacation. Get no invitation. Y'all all with it and y'all talk a lot, but y'all ain't got the heart to do the mission. I'm hard-headed like the juggernaut, but there ain't nothing I can do to listen. I'm authentic and I walk around like I just ate, but let you do the dishes. I'm Clark Kent, but mix the Autobots and mix with everything that you've been missing. Please get back and don't get that involved. Freaking sick, I need a padded walls. I'm the king, heavy crown, heavy rain, cat and dogs. Homie with me if you're asking for it. There ain't much that he be asking for. He just wanna have a paddock on with a watch face with little dragon balls. Look, you don't need me either. All I need is this. No coca ice, and I get oh so polite. You be the man of your city, I'll be the man of my country. You could be the man of your city, I'ma be the man of my country. Your girl has been calling for days. I get it in all different ways. days. New Orleans parades, yeah, we like. And none of my people are patient. We look like we on a vacation. Get no invitation, yeah, we like. Your girl has been calling for days. I get it in all different ways. Yeah, I'm like, none of my patient. We look like we on a vacation.
Track how G go too fast. I don't need wear no seatbelt. Bad little got no upgrade. Now she got. How about the range on? Who is little baby? He going in. Man, these old rappers getting boring. They be taking shots, I ignore them. Send them to the hood while I'm touring. Making plays out of town like I'm Jordan. Need to go get your. Walk on my way, I'ma score it. Lamborghini, I don't want no Porsches. I'm on fire, don't touch me, I'm tortured. Had the fish on my teeth, I went porcelain. Put the time on my back, I'm a horseman. One more year, I'ma make it a Forbes. They load me in the bay like he 40. I be seen inside of the Moreland. Ain't no strings attached, keeping it cordless. She keep calling, but I keep ignoring it. Ain't no stopping, I'm keeping it foreign it. Man, they can't stop me, I'm going it. Man, they can't stop me, I'm going it. Every time I'm gone, I get another. Tryna leave me long, another. I'm like, baby, I know I'm wrong, but this just how life goes. And I know these be happy if I let you go. Got me walking on a thin line on my tippy toes. Crazy different city with some different. Here we go. Every time I'm gone, I get another. Tryna leave me long, another. I'm like, baby, I know I'm wrong, but this just how life goes. And I know these be happy if I let you go. Got me walking on a thin line on my tippy toes. Crazy different city with some different. Here we go.
I spent the whole M on some clothes. Got a bonus, I sold out the show. Gonna like a pot on the stove. Yellow AP on all of my. I like when that white on the toes. Picture me riding around in that rose. I put some ice on my wrist, it was swole. Then I got time with you. All of these, my body, I got pay somebody keep checking my pose. Walking in the club with no warning, take care of the money. They swing on the. Water on me like the sunny, I shine when it's sunny, just platinum and rose. Gonna out the street when I go to DC, I'ma see the mo.
Every time I'm gone, I get another. Tryna leave me long, another. I'm like, baby, I know I'm wrong, but this just how life goes. And I know these be happy if I let you go. Got me walking on a thin line on my tippy toes. Crazy different city with some different. Here we go. Every time I'm gone, I get another. Tryna leave me long, another. I'm like, baby, I know I'm wrong, but this just how life goes. And I know these be happy if I let you go. Got me walking on a thin line on my tippy toes. Crazy different city with some different. Here we go.
Crazy different city with some different. I can switch my the same way that I change my clothes. Man, it's crazy, I'm envelope. And you know I'm never lacking. Gotta do it, that's up in traffic. Water on my paddock. In automatic, I drink water when I'm fasting. Use a hands, get on me, and I can't have it. Boy, I'm from average. Better wait your time, better get it on.
Every time I'm gone, I get another. Tryna leave me long, another. I'm like, baby, I know I'm wrong, but this just how life goes. And I know these be happy if I let you go. Got me walking on a thin line on my tippy toes. Crazy different city with some different. Here we go. Every time I'm gone, I get another. Tryna leave me long, another.
Tryna spend